Hello, this is Paper Cuts Included coming to you live from the Ninja Turtle sleeping blanket, and that's how I know it's legit. Today we're going to be looking at one of the very first Batman stories I ever read, that being Batman The Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. We're going to be looking at an issue at a time, starting with issue 1, of course, looking at the deluxe edition. I only own one of the issues, which is issue number 11. So, hey, maybe once I start selling some artwork, I can start buying those issues. But before we get into it, if this is your first ever Paper Cuts Included video, we are a comic book YouTube channel run by me and my two co-hosts. We're all working artists, and we want to talk about what we love. And what we love is comic books, baby. We put books under the microscope like this, and we break the art down atom by atom, talking about what the artist did, who the artist is, what works, what doesn't. What do we do as artists? What can we do to get better as artists? So on and so forth. So if you want an art channel who really breaks down art in a technical aspect, you found the place to be. And to prove I'm a working artist, I'll show off one of the pieces I'm working on right now, which is going to be the cover for one of me and my co-host's Fallout fanzine, coming to a bootleg store near you. We don't really know when this is going to be done yet, but hey, I got the cover going. He's got the back cover. He's working on some really good stuff. I'm working on some okay stuff. If you want to see more of our artwork, you can check out our links, which will be in the description, where you can look at his Instagram, my Instagram, and support the channel through my TeePublic page, where you can buy t-shirts, stickers, mugs, coffee cups, all that kind of stuff of my artwork. And all the proceeds from that go directly back into the channel. It allows us to get more and more books. Because books like this, where it's like $60, well, this is a Christmas gift right here. I can't really spend $60 on an art student salary at college yet. So, like I said, you want to support the channel? Check out my TeePublic. Get you some cool stickers. We'll be updating that store pretty soon too, so there'll be some new designs coming in. But let's get back to the book. This is Batman: The Long Halloween. This was probably the second Batman, like as a kid you're told about the comics forever, right? But this is one of the, I guess, the more serious ones I've read. If you know what I mean. It was like, oh, I've always heard about the Long Halloween. Oh, I've seen the figures. The figures look so cool. So I believe the first one was Arkham Asylum, the Grant Morrison book. Love that book. I need to do a reread, and the artwork's incredible. Lettering pretty bad in it, but great story, great character designs. This one has a interesting story, some great character designs, and interesting art style. Um, my before we look at that summary, I think the Tim Sale's art is pretty good, although I think sometimes it falls flat, and when it falls flat, I think it falls flat hard. Still a great artist. I'm never going to use this channel to say, oh, he's a horrible artist, because no one's a horrible artist. He is a great artist. He has done works for DC a lot. He, has done more stuff than I have, with notable works being Batman: The Long Halloween, Batman: Dark Victory, and Superman for All Seasons. Winning awards such as the Eisner Best Artist Penciler Inker and the or Penciler Inker Team 1999. So he's busted his chops and is no longer with us. Passed away in 2022. Sad to see him go. But I love collecting his covers. He did some of the books for the DC Rebirth stuff, so I collected those covers. And like I said, this was a Christmas gift because I wanted to check out Long Halloween. So let's break right into it. Usually what I do is, is the cover successful? I'm not going to do that just yet because this is the trade cover. And I think if you're buying the trade, you know the book you're buying, right? You're not just getting, a random $60 trade just to have a random $60 trade. But it does have the, I love this art right there. That's real cool. I love the silhouette. Real cool. Let's see. This is the cover of issue 1. And so now we'll do it. Is this cover successful? I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know it came out in 96. I think it is. What I mean when I mean successful is, you got to sell your book. And one of the easy ways you can sell your book is having a great cover. What does a great cover do? It keeps it, think of your first timers who have never picked up your book, or hell, even their first time in a comic book store, right? They can make up a good chunk of your sales. Picking up your book, being like, oh, this is such a cool cover. I wonder what it is. And, I'd have friends who just collect comics for the covers, you know. So if it's a crappy Spider-Man cover, they ain't gonna buy it. They're gonna buy the Todd McFarlane cover, you know. So is this cover successful? I think it is. I think that it is such a different art approach that people are gonna just be interested in it, but I don't know if they'd pick it up. I think they might look at it, say it's cool, at least for this first one, and that might be it. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's a strong cover, but not strong enough, I think, to make people pull the trigger. I like it a lot though, but I think it is one of the more forgettable ones of the series. You know? So let's get into it. So we open the page with good old Bruce. When he does art like this, Tim Sale, I really like it. I love just the abundance of negative space. I love just, I don't know, does he color his stuff or does someone else color it? Okay, so Gregory Wright does the colors. I don't know. The coloring is really well, and I think it really goes well with Tim Sale's art style. I've talked about it before. Find someone who can color your stuff really good, because colors can make or break a book. You know, especially if you're coloring it yourself. If you're going to do a page, do it 5 different ways color wise. See what works, see what doesn't, and you know you'll keep it going. You know, you won't pump out a crappy book. Never go with your first page because your first page ain't perfect. Just try again. The old Trojan way. Or is it Greek? Who knows? But this story takes place in a younger Gotham in the sense that, you know, Batman and all of them haven't been doing it for this long, you know. I'd say it's been a year or two, maybe probably year and a half. It is post year one, but it's probably not too far off it, you know. And so, you know, one of my more favored Batman gimmicks, which I don't feel like they touch a lot, is just the normal crime that happens in Gotham. So we see I guess our big antagonist being the Falcone crime syndicate. So no superpowered villains. He's not fighting Killer Croc. He's not fighting Joker. Our big antagonist for this book is going to be a serial killer in the Falcone family. And I just like that a lot. I think it does add a layer to Batman going back to his detective roots with some pretty cool art to boot. I love these 2 pages. I think it's great. Like I said, the art styles really well. My only complaint is this random guy right there. You know, he just looks so weird with the page cut like that. I feel like they should have just got rid of him. But great, right. I think Tim Sale does some really good art at times. I don't really know how I would say or classify his art or describe it, and I don't know if I've ever seen art look like his. I guess it sort of reminds me of some of the Fables covers, but not really because those are out of the park too and very different. But it's just, I don't know, very interesting how Tim Sale approaches his figures. You know, no figure looks the same a lot of the times. You know, I guess it's like Bigfoot cartooning. You know, this character here with that giant broad face and that coconut haircut. This random pencil neck with that, you know, Pinocchio nose. You know, more of a hawk nose there. He doesn't do same face syndrome. He does. Tim So is really good about drawing different faces everywhere. You know, which you need to because a big spread like that, you start getting figures that look alike. That's gonna be a boring page. You know. But no, stuff like this I really like. You know, using that negative space. You know, barely showing. You know, his tuxedo is pure black. There's no highlights. There's no wrinkles. And there's something to be said about people who approach art like that. You know, in art school, you're told you better show every freaking wrinkle, or you know, if you don't, you're gonna take points deducted from your final grade. So Tim Sale's not even listening to that. Just doing it, just the tuxedo. I like how the excuse me, the lapel actually has some shading, but the tuxedo itself is just pure black, and I like that a lot. You know, it's something I want to do more of in my art. I want to remember more of, and I just think it looks really good. You know, and just having the two distinct characters. You know, Falcone here, the Roman. I will just call him the Roman. The Roman's very stocky. He looks like our strongman, and then this goon's got that you know, very well done. This one line proves that he's a gaunt figure, right? You know, he's got that little like cheek bone sticking out. And it's just nice touches. It does it there. It just adds to the characters. You know, even the Roman has one there, but it's nearly not as thick as his henchman. So we get that. Yep, his henchman's a gaunt little skeleton man. You know, and it's just stuff like that I think works really well. And then good old Bruce, listening in once he leaves to what they're saying. The Falcone and the Waynes are a tight knit group in the sense that they've been there since the beginning of Gotham. Falcone wants to expand his criminal enterprise through money laundering, and Bruce wants no part of it because he believes in Gotham City. I believe that's the first thing in the book. Is yep, I believe in Gotham City. I wonder if that's going to be said at the end of this book. Mark my words, it is. I haven't reread this book probably in about a year. I think I read it right before Christmas online, and then I wanted to get the book. So this is the first time me actually reading it physical format, which is always better than digital. If you can, buy it and read it physically. Support your local comic book stores. I get if you can't, but try to, because more and more of those stores are kind of hitting the wayside. And one of my favorite character designs in this issue is Alberto. The Roman son finds Bruce, and I just really like his character design. How he's the pencil pusher, the good son, Harvard and Oxford, and he really sells it to himself. He's got that scrawny neck, he's got that Point Dexter face, he's got those glasses. I really like that panel. It's just, I don't know. Tim Sale does a lot with not a lot. He's not doing uber detailed backgrounds like Jeff Darrow, but yet his art feels really just good and grounded at times. More illustrative, I think, than comic book art. Like you know, look at one of his backgrounds versus a Todd McFarlane Spawn. You know, Todd kind of takes some shortcuts, whereas I don't think Tim would say he's using shortcuts. He's just using the medium to the best of its ability at times. Not fixating on getting every crack in the wallpaper like a Jeff Darrow would, but instead just giving it, I feel like, a more illustrator approach where, spotting those colors, or, I guess that's more of the colorist's job. But I wonder what the black and white version of this book is. If there is an artist edition of this book, let me know in the comments, because that'd be cool to look at. And now we get our second character, or another big character, Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman. I do not like her design right here. I don't know. I don't know what I wanted, but it's not that. I think it's because Tim Sale made her very flat looking, and not in the chest, you perverts, but in the face, some of the features. Like, I feel like Selena Kyle needs to be your bombshell character. There's a reason Bruce Wayne is always smitten with her. Outside of the cat outfit. So I don't know. I just don't like her portrayal right here. And I'm not saying that you have to overly sexualize her. Just, I don't know. There's just something about this design that I don't really like a whole lot, and it kind of stuck with me. Reading this book, there was a lot of art things, like reading this for a technical aspect rather than a story aspect. It made me kind of pick up on some things, you know. And turns out this is the wedding of the Roman's nephew. As a, hey, I almost killed you. Welcome back to the family. And just really good character designs. I really like his character design. Spoiler alert: this is the only issue he's gonna be in. He just, I think, really sells that, you know, criminal underling vibe. He's big, he's stocky, he's probably dumb, you know, and that's, I don't know. I just really like it. I think it's a really subtle way to kind of give nods to the, like, an older Batman story, like a 66 story where, Falcone probably did have all his goons look like that, big, stocky. But maybe I'm looking too far into it. I really like how, out of everyone dancing, Bruce and Selena are silhouetted in white. Our two main characters are all our struggle of the cat and the bat. I really like how he did it. He didn't have to. They could have all just been in black. I just think it just adds a little bit more to the dynamic of the characters, you know. But yeah. So we're at the wedding, and Falcone can't really be happy because he's already worried about his sister, his nephew's mother. I don't know why I explained that. We all know how an aunt works, or a sister. Um, yeah, she's gonna kill me. He says, if I ever die, look to her. And Alberto's not liking that. He wants to be part of the business. He wants to help, and his father won't let him. And they really do look a lot. Even the skin tone, I think it's really neat that the skin tone's more of a greenish look. I think it adds to the character. It does add to that kind of nerdy quality, and I just like that. And then, we're kind of getting, I guess, all of our big characters in this first issue, which is nice. This is a 12-issue series, I believe, and it's, you know, the first issue, we're setting up all our players pretty quick. There is going to be a lot more of the Batman Rogues Gallery that come in, but in this first issue, not a whole lot actually. So, like we see here, we get Harvey Dent, good old Harvey Dent, the DA. And he's snooping around, writing down license plates, seeing who's at this party, and they put kind of the brakes on him. And I like how they do it. This Tim Sale's composition, moving it, hit, 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 black, black, then wakes up and sees, Bruce and Selena. I just really like that. Always play around with your composition. Don't just do page after page after page of like this and that. It, play outside the box because that'll make people like me remember your book. And the more people remember your book, the more people are going to talk about it. The more people talk about it, the more sales you're going to get. So just play with the composition. And I don't know. I don't like that panel of Bruce. He just looks like you're in the wrong neighborhood, governor, like Jack the Ripper esque character. I just don't like that a whole lot. Again, not crapping on Tim Sale's artwork. It's just not for me right now. The big eyes, I think, are the just kind of the, I don't know. I think if maybe he took the pupils out, it would help because then you get that menacing, like, oh, we know that's Batman, you know, but it's just Bruce Wayne. And, an interesting story tidbit here. Dent don't really like Bruce. He considers him, oh, you rich boy. I'm here trying to make a difference, but yet you're here at this criminal's party. So I always like Harvey Dent and Bruce Wayne slash Batman's relationship. It is a character who started out wanted to do good and ultimately became the thing he hated. You know, but no, like, see, I like this look. It's not because of the boobs, but I just think like this panel compared to Selena's introduction. I don't know. It just, I guess it's the nose. Like her nose just being two little slits. I don't know. I just think it makes her look kind of reptilian in a way. But this one, she does look like that bombshell. Like I said, she needs to be the bombshell in my opinion. Not because I want just a hot, female character to look at, you know, but she is Batman's, she is one of the loves of Batman. I think she needs to, not saying she has to look nice, but she's supposed to be like the, Playboy model esque, breaks men's hearts, cat thief, flirts with people while she's fighting. So I think she needs to look good. I don't know. Is that sexist of me saying? That might be sexist of me saying. Sorry if that's sexist of me saying. But no, we roll back. Good old Bruce. He doesn't want to finish the night with Selena, if you know what I mean. And now we're coming back to good old Gordon. I love it when they just make Gordon an old white dude or just an old dude. You know, grandpa. I guess it reminds me of grandpa when they draw him like this. Reminds me of my grandpa is what I meant to say. I don't care how they draw. He can be. I really like the Batman actor in this newest Batman movie, the Robert Pattinson one. I thought he was a great Batman, even though some of my friends didn't. I really liked him. But we're getting another, probably one of the most important characters in the Batman mythos, in my opinion, is the James Gordon. Batman might bend the rules a little bit, but James Gordon is his, or just these stories, just unfortunate character in a lot of ways. I really like the coloring here. This lighting probably being, I guess, just from that lamp or maybe a lamp outside. I just think it looks really well, and they do the blinds really well there. And even the Harvey's the DA or assistant DA. I don't know which one. I think he's the DA, but just the just coming in after getting beat up and want to have an old drink with his friend, the commissioner or captain. I'm sorry, Captain Gordon. Uh, but I don't know. I just like stuff like that, and I just love the silhouettes of Gordon. All when people just do his glasses always showing, I always like it. You don't have to draw his pupils most of the time. To sell me on a good Gordon design. But no, we already cut back to the Falcone party with I guess the our I'm trying to think of a clever quip, but I won't. I won't embarrass myself. Batman and Catwoman coming back to check on Falcone's big old safe. One wants to look at it for see if there's any stuff he can blackmail him with, or I guess not blackmail, but bring to light. Whereas Catwoman's interested in some shiny stones. You know, and I believe the next page is my most. I just don't like this look in the. I don't like that Batman design. I don't like muscular Batman. I think Batman doesn't need to be muscular like that. Just muscles on muscles on muscles. You know, like I don't know how to explain it. Like I love Frank Miller's muscles a lot more than Tim Sale's muscles. It just looks, I know this is in the 90s, but even Catwoman's muscles don't look that good. And I feel like this could turn off a lot of people from the book. And even that leg kind of kick. I don't know. It just that I don't know. I'm just not really liking this two-page spread. I think it's probably the weakest ones in the first issue, and I get it's the first issue. Maybe the next 11, you will really get to see Tim Cell kind of get his sea legs for this, story, and we won't see any more of this. But I just hate that design. I don't think Batman should be muscular. Like, he has to have some muscle because he's crime fighting, but not, 20 pack abs. Just make him cool looking. Batman year one it. The Mazzucchelli. Don't spawn him. Don't Todd McFarlane him. Like do more like stuff like that. Where I don't know. Like there it looks okay, except that arm. I just don't like the muscular look. And that might be something I complain about for the whole, just book, you know. But when he silhouettes it like that panel, like because it kind of, I don't know, when Batman's in darkness, it looks really good. If you're trying to do a Batman comic or drawing Batman, black it out sometime. I guess McFarlane it sometimes. You don't show everything. Show him in some darkness. You'll get it. Batman's probably one of the most recognizable characters, and he's supposed to be the only hunts at dark kind of. So it think about stuff like that. And so I wish Tim would do more of that. Not go full on Todd McFarlane Spawn mode, but more of I guess the traditional way we see Batman. You know what I mean? I really like how they show the bullets coming out of the gun. The firing. You know, I've never thought of doing it like that, but I might have to curb that because it looks really good in my opinion. Um, yeah, that page is really good. All the smoke looks really good. This is one of my favorite panels. Just Falcone. Whenever it gets to Falcone, it looks good too. Because you're just drawing mobsters at that point, and it's probably a lot easier to draw mobsters than the status quo of Batman and Catwoman. You know. But again, just the Catwoman, like I don't know. I'm fine with Catwoman's look here, and Batman. He just has too many gosh darn muscles. I just don't like it. I'm gonna try not to be the dead horse, and also just the page kind of split. The way it splits like that. I hate it when that happens to books. It really takes me out of the book. Maybe that's just a bad quirk on my part, but I just can't. I hate it when it does it. It really takes me out of the flow of the book. Interesting compositions though with the building showing them going up. It really does sell that they're going through the Gotham skyline. You know, so if you cut these two characters out, I really love the way Tim Cell did the buildings, especially the windows going up. That's your perspectives right there. Always mess with perspective. See what works, see what doesn't. And I'm sure he did the buildings first on a separate piece of paper, did his two characters, light tabled that hoe, because whew, once you hate to just mess up a building while you're drawing these two. But no, the bat kind of loses the cat. Like that panel looks so good right there in that panel when they just don't overly show the two. It works really good, you know. Like Catwoman looking like a freaking giant cat really sells it, you know. And Batman being in darkness like a bat just works, you know. So, and I love these neon signs. They look really good too. Reminds me of East End in year one, which, you know, hopefully eventually me and my co-host slash best friend Dylan get our year one review back on track. We did issue one, but then it turned out all my audio was muted. You can hear him throughout the entire time, but you can't hear a single word I say. But nope, I really like the bat sign here. I love how it's not solid. It's, you know, how a sign probably looks in real life. I just think it looks really good, you know. And you got good old James and James Gordon and Harvey Dent just waiting on him, and we start to get some of the other characteristics of this book. You know, a thing that'll come up. Dent and his wife are having troubles, and you know that's going to be one of the bigger parts of this book. And like Batman always be doing, he appears right behind him, you know, without a word, you know, with the famous bats that Dent says. Dent, I don't know. I think Dent and Batman have a underrated relationship. I wish sometimes there was more of a look at it. I feel like Dent gets overshadowed by the Joker a lot, which I get it, you know, it's the Joker, but I wish like there'd be more stories that just talk about his more just criminal villains, you know, like I feel like they've kind of turned the joke or not the joke, the Penguin into a like a just a bad should be super villain but villain. You know what I mean? Like he's supposed to be this ice cold mobster at the very heart of it. Like the Batman movie with James Patterson or Robert Patterson, I really like how they did Penguin in that. You know, and I don't know. I just want them to do more stuff like that in comics. Don't make them like I'm gonna take over the world with my exploding penguin. You know, or I'm gonna hire the Suicide Squad and yada yada yada. Like, just I don't know. I'm kind of ranting a little bit, but have them how it was like in the Batman movie. Have it like it how we're gonna see Dent kind of de-evolve, you know. And again, just having no pupils and Gordon's glasses, I just love it. I love Gordon's design in this book. It's probably one of my favorite designs of Tim Sales is Gordon's. Um, but no, I wonder if he looked at Mignola any or was inspired by some of Mignola's artwork. Not fully doing that Hellboy like really stocky, really spotting that black approach, but you know, sometimes I can see it. I don't think so. It's different enough where I could see Tim Cell just perfecting his own way, but that might be an interesting look to see if those two ever kind of talked or had conversations or if one looked at the other's artwork, you know. Hey, if you know anything like that, let me know in the comments. But you know, they're the three of them. You know, the police, the DA, and the vigilante are agreeing to put the Roman down. You know, bending the rules but not breaking it. And I always do love long ear Batman. That's my favorite ear, if you know what I mean for Batman. I get why short ears are popular, but I just love long ears for whatever reason. I know how impractical they are, but that's just me. You know, and just look at the different, you know, character designs of just the heads of the three. You know, we get that Gordon's probably the heaviest, or I guess Batman's the heaviest, then Gordon, then Dent. I just love how just with the facial, the you know, the bone muscular in their faces, you can really tell they're different characters. You know, like Batman's just got that broad jaw, like Batman be doing. You know, he chewing on some jawbreakers. You know, Gint or not Gint, trying to say jawbreaker. Dent, you know, he's got that little face. You know, he's probably the youngest one here. You know, and I think it tells it. You know, a smoother face is always going to represent just the younger, and he's even got the little spit curl for innocent, which nice touch. Knowing what happens to Dent. Spoiler alert: he becomes Two Face in this story. So you know, it's nice to see that. You know, probably Tim Sells telling us that, yep, this is an innocent character And then throughout the rest of the book, we see him just morph into a monster. And then Gordon having that big jaw too, and just a tired look too, because Gordon's probably sees just horrible stuff after horrible stuff, whereas Batman can maybe take rest in knowing that he's making a difference. It's I don't know. I really like the coloring too. That blue, they could have just done gray, but the purple and the blue and the black works really well there. You know. But no, we cut to kind of more the present day crime stuff. The head of the bank wants to give it. He's trying to get Bruce, and kind of strong arms him. Is like, yep, the Roman's gonna use us, and we're gonna launder his money. And Bruce ain't too happy about that. But it's not long before good old Batman pays him a visit, and well, no other bank's gonna help him now. So Falcone's a little angry about that. And what I should have said, one of my favorite things in this issue, and maybe the whole story, if I can remember, is it's somewhere in the city. I know the Roman is smiling. It'll come up a bunch in this issue and the rest of the series. I just like it. And yeah, I like the coloring here a lot too. Really good differences in coloring. The really earthy tones of kind of this. I think it's supposed to represent the older family. They've been here since the beginning of Gotham, so of course they're building their house is going to look older. The more earthy tones, whereas the probably new financial rich bank president has a freaking uh, column in his household. It looks just blue in a good way. Feel like blue is always going to be your futuristic color. You're clean, you're pristine, you're new, and it sells it here. Columns, statues, golden lights. A liquor cabinet. It just works well. But that bank president ain't long for this world, and he gets gunned down real quickly. With again, somewhere in the city, I know the Roman is laughing. I just love that. That's probably gonna this format of having the villain kind of just, what he's doing. I might swipe that for a book I'm working on. And this is probably my favorite page right here. Is it double spread? No, it's just one page of the serial killer uh, making his gun. I don't know why I like it a lot. I think it's a great difference, having it in black and white rather than every other colored page. I just think it works really well, and it's going to be the page I remember most from the first issue. Is him making the gun. I think Tim So's art looks a lot better like this, without the colors. I'd want to see a book just in this coloring. Where's that edition? Where's the black and white of Long Halloween? If there is, let me know in the comments, because I think that would look really dope. Now we get to see some of the home life with good old James. Speaking of baby nipples, or is it bottle nipples? What are those called? I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to say baby nipples if they're not called baby nipples. Barbara kind of tired, like someone's calling you. It's never for me. Answer it. And now we see, what's good old, Dent doing down there? Is that who's making these guns? Well, probably not, because this guy's got gloves on, and Dent don't got gloves on. But don't take my word for it. And we get to see, is his name's Hilda? Is that what's his wife's name? Gilda. Her name's Gilda. Okay. So it's Dent and Gilda. And Gilda's just terrified that one night Dent's not coming home, which I like how we're seeing their home lives. Our Batman characters have families. They're not just what they are. James Gordon doesn't go home and just stays James Gordon. He goes home and becomes, the husband, the father. Harvey Dent goes home and is the husband, and his wife's scared. So just think about stuff like that in your books, in your art. I really like how the Tim Sale really and crap, who wrote it? Jeff Loeb. Can't believe I forgot that. Does build up on that family dynamic, because at the end of the day, it their characters are going to be their peoples. You know what I mean? The family builds the person. They're not like, see how Batman is a almost a sociopath at times because he's got no one but an old white dude just hanging around him and some kids in some tights. Whereas, James has a family to go home to protect, to love, to cry over, to care. And Dent has a wife that he wants to protect. He wants to make the city a better place for. So just think about doing stuff in your artwork. How can you make those character arcs just stick more? And adding a dependent or something worth fighting for, like a family, can add to that character a lot, in my opinion. And again, you know, just great artwork. I love the black and white artwork. I think it works really well. The nephew just gunned down. Or I guess this is the end of the issue. I always think this is the end of the issue, but it's not, because this it's a showstopper. 2 pages. You know, having the red looks amazing right there. Like, when you're doing a black and white book and you add color once in a while, like, don't just add one random color page. Like, look at this. Look at Sin City, the yellow bastard. How he's yellow. It really adds to the book. So just remember stuff. Like, if you're doing a black and white book, you can add color. And when you do it good, it looks so good. Like, this would be a great piece of artwork just by itself. So this is probably my favorite 2 pages. Whereas the other was my favorite 1 page. This is my favorite 2 pages. But no, now we have the good old crime fighting team. Like, what happened? Or his nephew just killed. What? And with good old Catwoman waiting nearby. Nothing too much to talk about. I really like the characters there. Just not showing them. Batman's all in dark, which he should be. Like I said, he looks better when he is. Dent and Harvey. I think it really sells that they've been there for a long time. You know, they burn in that midnight oil, I guess you should say. And like, I like these 2 pages. Having Batman cover himself with his cape. It that's Batman. That's how I want Batman to be. I want him to be hidden. I want him not to just be showing off his you know, his the back that Bane broke. Like, I really like it when he's like that. That looks really good. I know that's anatomically probably super incorrect. Like, who's that big compared to some other person? But it looks good, I think. I like it. And then just having all that negative space, the gesture drawings, like, that's a really good Batman panel. And it's so simple, but yet a lot of people are going to get it wrong. I think they're going to fully color it. I think if this was a fully colored, like that kind of approach, it wouldn't be that good. I would probably just go past this page really quick. But yet, with it fully darkened out, with those eye slits, it just works really well. Batman looks so good when you're hiding Batman, he looks good. And probably what they use for a little bit of inspiration in the Dark Knight, they're gonna burn the Falcone's $20 million stash, with one of my favorite story elements, Dent being, oh boy, if we were the 2 other guys in a room full of untraceable cash, Batman just being so cold, we're not. Well, and then Dent being like, yeah, but I was just thinking how, and then Batman don't. And I really like that. I think it, just shows how committed Batman is and how we know money corrupts. At the end of the day, he is also Bruce Wayne, and he has seen socialites go from, his friends to people like Penguin, people like Black Mask, and I just think that's a cool moment. And the coloring, that purple, I just think works really good with all this green. I think if that was a blue or a gray, it would actually hurt the piece. But it being purple, just likes it. I really like Tim Sale's backgrounds and like compositions. I think that might be one of my favorite parts. Is this random pillar right there, that big window. I wonder how he came up, how to do it. You know what I mean? Man, I wish I could talk to him. But yep, now the warehouse is burning. So $20 million just down the gutter. That's gotta hurt. And somewhere in the city, the Roman isn't laughing anymore. I just like that. And so Harvey finally comes home to his wife, and for the whole book, looking sad, looking mad, they're finally happy. Both of them are smiling, you know. And then just I love it when books do this. They just blow them up. Spoiler alert, they're not dead. But hey, that's a great way to, I bet a lot of people are like, oh my god, Two Face is gonna be in the next issue. Two Face is gonna be in the next issue. He's not. Um, I don't know. It just I love the ending. I forgot it ends like that, and I just think that's a good ending. That's a good way to get people to buy the next issue. Like, what happens to Dent? Is Two Face going to be in the next issue? What's the Roman going to do? Who's the serial killer? Or it's just a good way to build up anticipation in a good way. And yep, chapter 2, Thanksgiving. So this was Halloween. Now we're going to be in Thanksgiving. Great cover too. That's probably my favorite cover in the entire series. But no, that is issue 1 of The Long Halloween. Like I said, it was one of the first Batman stories I read where I was getting into comics. I think it's good. The story's very interesting. The art, though, yeah, it's good, but sometimes it's rough. Um, but again, I'm never gonna crap on an artist. Tim Sale made a book. I've never made a comic, so I'm never gonna be like it needs to be better. I'm no Wednesday Warrior. I'm an appreciative of the arts, I guess I should say. But it's been real fun. I'm looking forward to rereading it with you guys. I don't know when we're gonna cover it again because I don't know. I planned the next 3 weeks out, and we got we're gonna be covering Madman for a little bit. We're gonna be covering Kick Ass for a little bit, so I don't want to add a whole nother just long part to cover. So maybe this will be a once a month thing, and we'll get through it in a year. Maybe Batman once a month. But let me know if you want me to do this more. If The Long Halloween's your favorite Batman book, and you really want me to talk about it, um, you know, tell me. I really like talking to you guys in the comments. I respond to every comment, usually within the hour, because I'm on summertime, so I ain't got nothing too much going on. But no, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you. That really helps out on the channel. It gets the algorithm pumping these videos out to more and more people who like this kind of content. And if you haven't yet, hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the hottest up and coming comic book YouTube channel. We are at 48 subscribers right now, and I'm hoping to get 100 by the end of summer. So only way to do that, like, comment, and subscribe to keep that number going up and keep us getting closer. We will be doing a summer celebration soon for our first summer goal. I will keep you in the loop, but I will be raffling off some pieces of artwork for it. I'll make a community post of it, but I will closer to when we do the video. But I will be raffling off 2 pieces of artwork and some stickers, so there will be 3 things going out. All you have to do is the video we make, which will come out on a Saturday or a Sunday, but it'll be a weekend video. We never post on the weekends. We post Monday to Friday, every Monday to Friday, 10 a.m., unless I have technical difficulties, which did happen this week. But all you have to do when that, big event video comes out is comment what's either been your favorite artist we've looked at or your favorite book we've looked at, or both. But no, it'll be a big video. It'll probably be closer to an hour, hour and a half, which will be our longest video. And yeah, it will, I think it'll just be a kind of a powwow, uh, more podcast style with me and my co-host talking about, our journey so far, what we want to do with the channel, maybe a little drawing, put the camera down, we just draw right in front of you guys, stuff like that. Or we'll just cover a big book. We might cover a specific Ninja Turtles #1 for it. But I will let you guys know the sooner we get to it. I think it might be next weekend or the weekend after. It's just when we can get all our schedules done. So I guess I'll send you guys on some marching orders, and I'm out of here. Make more art.